Dragon Table, I'll be going over hopefully a short tutorial on a little Euro game called Maori, or Maori, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's a victory point based game, but it's really simple. It's about laying tiles out on your own board to build little islands with little palm trees. It's very relaxing and simple, and pretty much anybody can play it. So let's take a look. So this is Maori, set up for a 3-player game. And you choose a starting player to go randomly. You can roll a die, or you can, I don't know, take it outside and have a fight. So he gets to go first. But the first player will choose where to put the boat to start with. There's this nice little boat. And once they've placed the boat, let's say they place the boat here, they then have to move the boat at least one space, or up to as many spaces as boats they have on their own board. And everyone starts with 2 boats on their own board. So at the very beginning, you can move the boat either 1 or 2 spaces. As the game goes along, you're going to be able to pick up tiles that have more boats on them, and therefore have more choices as to how far you can move the boat. So during the first step, let's say I move the boat 1-2 spaces. What I can do then on my first turn is I can pick up the tile that's right next to the boat. In order to pick up tiles that are farther in, I would have to pay puka shells, signified by these little wooden pieces. And at the beginning of the game, I don't have any puka shells yet. So I'm going to pick up this tile, and I then place it on my board. This is the middle of an island, so it's going to have to go in the middle of my board somewhere. Maybe say I'll put it here. And then I will spend the rest of the game trying to finish off the island. I then replace that tile with a randomly drawn one from one of the stacks. And then the game continues clockwise to the next player. Now, each of these tiles has different things on it. You're trying to make islands. You're trying to make islands with lots of palm trees and hopefully a hut on the island. Because palm trees score at the end of the game, and huts make your palm trees score for twice as much. Something else that scores at the end of the game are these lays, and you can get them in halves. Here's half a lay on this tile, and there is a half a lay on this tile. But if you had both of these on your board, you wouldn't be able to put them together, because the palm trees have to be facing the same direction. For instance, if I turned it this way to try and complete the lay, these palm trees would be facing the wrong way. So whenever you place a piece on your board, the palm trees have to be oriented the correct way. Same thing if you pick up a shell, anything, it has to be oriented the correct way, or not that it would matter, but a boat. If you do pick up a tile that has a shell on it, once you've placed on the board, you get to take a shell, which you can then use to buy tiles that are farther into the board than the ones that are just on the edge. In order to score an island at the end of the game, you have to finish it. So for this island, I would be trying to look for pieces that would finish the island. Say, for instance, that piece would finish the left side. Oh, and that piece would be nice, because that would finish this side. But I would have to have a little bit of luck involved and some strategy in order to move the boat to the right places in order to pick up the pieces that I need. On your turn, you can do what I just did. You can pick up a tile and put it on your board. Alternatively, you could pick up a tile and put it to the side in your reserve. You can do that. If you do that with a tile that has shells on it, you don't get to get the shells because you haven't placed it on your board yet. You only get the shells when it gets placed on your board. For your turn, if you wanted to, instead of taking a tile from the center, you could place a tile from your reserve onto your board. You could also, if you think you've made a mistake and you don't like the way that your board is set up, for your turn you could discard a tile off your board. You could also choose to do nothing. If there's really no play at all for you to make, you can't pick up a tile, you can't put something in reserve, you can't take something off your board, you can choose to do nothing. But you always have to move the boat. The boat always has to move at least one spot, and optionally as many spaces as you have boats on your own board. And remember that you start with 2. Let's skip ahead a little bit into the game. Okay, we've skipped ahead in the game some, and you can see now how we've got some pieces out on each of the boards. We've got some puka shells out, the tiles in the middle have changed, and the tile that I just pulled out was this one, and I placed it on my board, and the tile that I replaced it with is a volcano. So the reason I stopped right at this point to show you is that a volcano blocks you. So you cannot pick up anything, you can't pick up a volcano, and you can't pick up anything on the other side of the volcano. So the guy next to me who's going to go next, if he only moved 1, he would not be able to pick up anything in this row, even if he had the puka shells to do so. If he was able to move 1 more, he can buy anything in this line. This would cost 1 puka shell, this would cost 2, and this would cost 3. The farther away from the boat it is, the more it costs. The ones that are right next to the boat are free. But if there's a volcano in the way, does not matter. You can't buy anything on the other side of a volcano. So let's keep going. I should also take a moment to point out that, especially once your board starts getting filled up, and if you realize maybe you've made a mistake or you would have done something differently, in order to place a tile, it must match what's next to it on the board. In other words, this would have to match another island. I could not put this piece here, even if I intend later, if this player intended later to get rid of this piece, he cannot put this piece here because it does not match. He likewise can't put it here at the top because it doesn't match. He would have to get rid of this tile first before he could place this one here, if that's the decision he was making. He wouldn't do that. He's going to put it down here. I just wanted to point out that your tiles do have to match when you put them down. I've now gotten myself into a situation where I'm going to need 2 very specific pieces in order to finish my board out. And I might not be able to do it before these guys finish their boards. Because once somebody has filled in their board, it'll be the end of the round. Each player will take 1 more turn, and then the game is over. So because of the way my board is, and this generally is what is going to happen at the end, I need a piece that is the left side of an island here, and I need a piece that is the top side of an island here. And even though I have 4 boats so I can move a lot, there's nothing that I can reach within this boat route that's going to get me what I need in order to finish off my islands. So this turn is going to be one of those turns where I do nothing. But I'm going to try and move. I'm probably going to move as little as possible because I don't want to set up my friends here for any kind of success either. here's where the game is going to end, and it is very bad news for me and bad news for my friend over here. Good news for this guy over here. He's going to spend his last move to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to spend his last 2 puka shells to buy this tile, which will finish that island, and then replace this. So now his board is filled. This tile wouldn't count, whatever's on it. And now my friend and I each have 1 turn where we can try to do something, which is not going to be much. I'm going to be able to finish one of these islands. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, which just made my friend very sad because I just moved past the 1 piece he needed to finish his lay, but that's the game. I can pick up this tile and finish this island and get another boat in the process. And then he needs either the left side of an island, well actually he needed the left side of this lay here. He can finish with the right side of the island, which I think he can get because he does have 3 boats. So he can go 1, 2, 3, and he can take this piece and he can at least finish that island. Phew, he says, he was worried. I don't know why I'm getting on another tile, the game's over, but. Now let's move on to final scoring. And I will put each of these boards together and zoom in so I can show you what final scoring looks like. Okay, so at the end of the game, this was my board, this was my friend to the left, and this was my friend to the right. At the end of the game, if you had any unfinished islands, like for instance this one here, it gets tossed off the board. And this guy here unfortunately didn't get to finish his lay. That's very sad. Whoa, that one hit the floor. And endgame scoring is summarized right on the left of your sheet here. You get a point for every palm tree. If there is a hut on your island, you get 2 points for each palm tree. 2 huts on one island does not do anything special for you. It only matters if you have a hut at all. A lay gets 10 points, and whoever has the most boats gets to score that number of boats. Whoever has the most puka shells gets to score that number of puka shells. And you get -1 for each open spot that you did not fill during the game. So for instance, on this board, I would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 palm trees that score singly, so that's 10 points. And then with huts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 have huts, so that's 16. That's 26 points in trees, plus 10 points for the lay. That would be 36 points. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats. My friend here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boats, so I do not have the most boats. So I have, and I have 1 puka shell, but my friend here has 2, so I do not have the most puka shells. So I have 36 points minus the 2 open water spaces. I have 34 points. My friend over here has, let's see, for single palm trees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of single palm trees. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, so it'd be 8 points. 16 plus 8, 24 points. He doesn't have a lay. He does have the most puka shells, so he gets 2 points for that. So that would be 26 points for puka shells. He does not have the most boats. So 26 points minus the 2 spots for open water, kind of negates these. He has a total of 24 points at the end of the game. Guess who I think is going to win? This guy. This guy did really well. This is the board that I would have liked to finish with. He has 1, 2, 3 palm trees that score singly, and a whole bunch that score double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 32 points, plus 3. That's 35 points in palm trees. He has the most boats, so he gets, let's see, 35 plus 6. He has 41 points for from boats. He doesn't have any lays. He doesn't have puka shells. He has no open spaces of water. He wins because he got all of these double scoring palm trees. That's it. That's the game. It's that easy. And it's one of those good intro games to people who are new to board gaming or people who don't game a lot. My parents like this one. It's a nice, relaxing kind of theme. If you really want to get people into it, you can play some, I don't know, some tropical music in the background if you want. Serve some fruity drinks with pineapple slices. And it goes fast too. It's probably a half an hour long game. You can play 2 to 5 players and it holds up. I've played it with 2 to 4 players. I don't think I ever played it with 5 players. But it holds up as a 2-player game just fine. It's a little less exciting because you're not able to position the boat as much around the tiles to try and block people from getting stuff. But it's a cute little game. It's a good filler game. I believe that it is out of print right now because it's one of the titles that was transferred from Rio Grande Games to Z-Man, and I don't think that Z-Man is printing it right now. So if you can find it for a decent price, it's a nice little game to have in your collection. When you really just don't know what else to play, it's a good one to throw out there. And that's Maori. Thanks for visiting the Dragon Table. I'll see you next time.